Greetings and welcome, friends and random people of the void. My name is Xadow, and today I will be reacting to the Dadvocate's Womansplaining Men to Women playlist. Link to the playlist in the description below. Go and show her all the love and support that you would give to me if you were loving and supporting me at all. Now, let's get into this.
Team when they're losing, so it's okay.
God, I just got so
Okay.
I know she's trying to be funny. I know that. But I think most guys watching this know she's not joking. I get so annoyed.
Also, the guy sounded a bit annoyed anyway.
They like sports or knowing they like video games, then they keep dating but expect him to suddenly stop liking sports and video games. As if the moment he agreed to get serious with you, he also agreed to never have hobbies again. And I'm not saying men are never clingy like this, but I do not see passive-aggressive videos of men filming themselves being angry that their wife is ignoring them while she watches RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yeah,
So
no,
honestly,
typically
a
they
video like
just
that would
ignore
be-
you and you just gotta live with
Look
it.
at his face. That's a cry for help. Right
Yeah, he
there.
doesn't look
And
happy.
I heard him say something like, "Oh, my team is losing anyway, so it's fine." That's called a coping mechanism. I used to
Yeah.
say shit like that to my bullies in high school who would mess with me as a way of making them think they're not winning. And she called it ignore your wife weekend. A
Yeah,
football
it doesn't
game
really
is
work,
3
though.
hours. If a man can't spend 3 hours a week ignoring his wife, what does he even have in this world? And stuff like this really messes with guys. See, when you first started dating, you tricked him into thinking that you would be okay with him watching sports or okay with him playing video games.
Yep,
And
yep,
I thought it was
entrapment,
love relief to
complete
know that
entrapment.
you'd be okay with that part of him. But this is one of those things that people think will just magically change after marriage. People really trick
There are
themselves into
definitely
thinking
things that
marriage
should
changes
change
things.
at the point of
He's clean
marriage,
before
but
the marriage, he's not going to clean after.
uh,
And if he likes sports
unless
and
you've
video games
discussed it,
before the marriage, he's not gonna
don't
stop
assume
liking
it.
them after. The man you date is also going to be the man you're married to. And
Mm-hmm.
quite frankly, now he's going to be worried about you. Because you used to be okay with him having his own space and doing his own thing. And now you aren't. Now he's freaked out thinking, what is she even doing when I'm not with her? Just waiting for me to be with her? Can I even be my own man anymore? And what the hell is going on with this couch situation? My man is facing sideways to watch the TV? Why are you watching your TV sideways? Ladies,
Interesting. I didn't even notice that.
Your TV. Let your man have his hobbies, and have your own hobbies, or you will kill each other. Womansplaining Men to Women, Part 11. I gotta drop another truth bomb on ya. Ladies, it is time to reclaim all the time you're wasting trying to read anything off his face. If you're trying to figure something out, and you go to his face for information, you will receive inconclusive data. They say men are dogs, but in this way men are more like cats. They do not show their pain. Your man could be under the most stress and anxiety of his life, and his face will look like this. Your man could be so euphoric and overjoyed, and his face will look like this. Those long
Yeah.
silences could be anything.
Yeah, to be honest, as since I am now a streamer reacting to videos and stuff, I am actually having to make a conscious decision to react. Like, most of my reactions would otherwise be in my head. I can hear my voice in my head. My thoughts are I have a perfect inner monologue. And so I don't need to verbalize how I'm reacting to things. I'm reacting to things in my head, but I'm quiet outside. I don't really react outside. Except, again, I'm streaming now and I'm reacting now. And if I don't verbalize my reaction, then what am I doing here? So, anyway.
He might be trying to remember a word, or he might be reconsidering his entire life with you, but you're not going to be able to tell from his face. I cannot tell you how many times I've been like, "Are you mad at me?" And he's like, "No, I'm trying to remember if it was Ramses or Khufu who was the pharaoh who had over 200 kids."
And now I'm
"Well,
thinking
misread
about that and
one.
I
Your
can't
memory's
remember.
so good." gonna tell
I'm
you right
probably
now,
gonna
you're
look
get
that up
yourself in
later.
So much trouble reading way too deep into things. I always say, if you're gonna go digging, you're gonna find dirt. Like, sometimes girls will try to say certain things to gauge his reaction, to try to, like, catch him. They'll be like, "I bet you wish I had a nicer body like your coworker Cindy." Like, just to see what you'll say. Dude, he knows it's a trap. Matt
Yeah.
invented bait. He knows what you're doing. These little traps never work how people want them to, and they are killing good relationships by creating these patterns of toxic self-fulfilling prophecies by jumping to conclusions. If you really want to know what's up with him, ask. Because
That would be
either
very
he'll get
helpful,
what you
yes.
really want, or he'll finally realize he's holding in a fart and fix his face.
On the topic of that, I apparently had a lot of people back in high school that had huge crushes on me, apparently. I just thought I had a bunch of friends and they just so happened to be girls. It was normal for me. That was what I was around. That was what I was used to. And all of them just seemed to behave in that way. Apparently, they all liked me, and none of them said anything. And all these years later, when nobody really is available anymore, I find out that I had a bunch of girls back in high school that really liked me, had crushes on me, but because they never asked me out, because they never said anything, I didn't know. I just thought I had a bunch of friends, and I was cool with that.
This commenter asks, but why do we, the men, always have to be the ones to initiate everything? That is a fucking great question for the ladies. This is almost like one of those chicken and the egg questions. Like, did men become the pursuers because they liked it or because we like it?
Okay, so spoiler alert on this particular question. I believe that both people like it. But the problem is that as a guy, and building off of what we just discussed, I'm oblivious as heck. And so I'm not entirely sure if I'm being hit on or not, I guess. There have been times when somebody has been so blatant about it that it was obvious to me. But there are other times when evidently it was obvious to everyone else, but it wasn't obvious to me because I guess they were just being too subtle or whatever. You know, just use your words. Come out and say it. It would be very, very nice if you just expressed that you have interest in me. That would be beautiful. But otherwise, don't assume I know, because I don't most of the time. Most of the time, I do not. I don't pick up on it. I don't understand why anyone would be hitting on me because, well, I'm not interested in myself. That's not a perspective that I can relate to. So anyway, so basically, bottom line is it's not actually something that comes up in my day-to-day life now because I'm not really interacting with a bunch of single women now. But back in high school, I definitely was, and this is definitely something that I can get behind. Use your words. If you definitely try to pursue, but be a little bit more blatant about it if you're a girl trying to go after a guy, because if I'm any sort of example, guys are frickin' oblivious to your subtle ways.
But spoiler alert, Womansplaining episode 19, men like being pursued too.
Yes!
They like being told they're cute. They like being asked out.
It's
really
nice.
like it when you take their hand and pull them away somewhere private.
That's actually a big turn on,
and
yes.
Chased at some point in my life. I can say there are pros and cons to both. There's definitely a certain thrill to the chase, as they say, but it comes with a lot of baggage. After all, as the pursuer, you are the only one who carries the risk of rejection. And it can be a lot to be the only one dealing with it over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And if you tend to want to be pursued, you do get to be in a cozy spot when it happens because you end up being the final gatekeeper. However, that also leaves you up to getting mad slept on because you're never showing your cards or telling people what you want.
Pretty much.
That's why I think for the cat and mouse
That's
thing
what
really
they all
works.
did back in
Both
high
sides
school
need
was
to
they
initiate to some degree.
they lost their
And
chance
honestly,
because
ladies, after
they
everything we've been
didn't
through with the whole
actually
Me Too
make it
movement and
clear,
everything,
and
we
I
actually
lost my
have
chance
to
because
start
now they're all
stepping
taken.
up and initiating more. Because good men need a really clear, hard, loud green light before they are going to try anything.
would be very much
If you love
appreciated.
getting
Yes,
what you
then
want,
please and
being
thank you.
in control and letting your consent be known. Real easy way to do that is you initiate it. Womansplaining Men to
Would be
Women,
nice.
13. Okay, so low key, your man doesn't exactly want you to know this, but he also kind of does. He loves the tea. If you found out one of the single soccer moms on your kid's team slept with a ref, low key he would love to hear about it. Like, he might act stoic, he might act like he's above it, but
I'm not
guarantee
entirely
he's
sure
smiling at the
about
drive
that
home,
one.
and
Like,
he'd be
if I have to be introspective on the matter, I don't honestly think that I care too much about general gossip. I guess it just depends on who it's about and just to what degree the gossip goes. Like, if it's surface level stuff, I guess for the girls that are really into gossip and stuff, it wouldn't necessarily seem surface level to them. But if it's like just simple on the surface relationship drama or stuff, I don't really care. I don't know other guys that do. But if it's like big news about specific people and whatnot, I guess spill the tea. We all want to kind of know and be in the loop, but also I'm kind of not exactly an extrovert, so maybe that plays a factor in my preferences about the tea.
So which ref was it? And don't underestimate his ability to keep track of all the characters. I guarantee you at any time he could list off an entire roster of like 3 different sports teams or the entire cast of like 4 Final Fantasy games. He has the bandwidth. I don't care how manly he
It all
is.
just depends on the interest,
200 pounds of
yes.
solid muscle with a beard past his man steaks. Even if he's a lumberjack, an absolute lumber snack. Girl, he wants the tea just like the rest of us. Womansplaining Men to Women, episode 15. Men are the first ones to say, I got it taken care of, before they have even mildly begun to figure it out. But rest assured, they will figure it out. Now, we all occasionally fly by the seat of our own pants. Men are pilots, absolute aerospace engineers of by the seat of their pants flying. You know how
Or
often a man
dunces.
will
I've seen
pull
plenty of
his drive
dunces.
just in time for his wife to text, hey, did you pick up that rock salt? And he'll go, yep, as he's pulling back out to go get that rock salt. Is he lying? Yeah, but that's all because your peace of mind is the most important part of the plan. The plan that he does not have, but also totally has. And that
I love it when a plan comes
women,
together.
because we tend to be way more type A than men, and we like to have things a little bit more planned out. But people confuse men's not having a plan with not being prepared, and those are 2 different things. Ironically, the way men do prepare is by preparing for nothing to go according to plan.
Pretty much, yes, because if you have a plan, everything can go wrong.
Notice that when we are getting frustrated because nothing's going according to plan, he's taking it like a champion because he never planned for anything to go right in the first place.
Exactly.
Therefore, it's all going
Make a plan, stick to the plan, expect the plan to go wrong, compromise, make a new plan.
according to plan. It's actually kind of annoying how men have not
I said compromise, improvise. Improvise, make a new plan.
figuring things out, all figured out. Womansplaining Men to Women, episode 16. So if it feels like your man is ignoring you or is mad at you because he's just kind of staring off, he might just be lost in his nothing box. See, men do this thing where
All the
they
time.
accidentally
All the
transcend
freaking
space-time
time.
continuum, and we call it their nothing box. And they really don't know when it's going to happen. They'll just be in the middle of something, and then all of a sudden they just fall through a wormhole. It's something that he wishes he could do on purpose because it's actually quite peaceful, but he knows that it's going to happen right before you're about to tell him something really important instead. So instead of getting mad at him for unintentionally achieving a state of dharma, here's what to do the next time you see him just reformatting. It's actually a lot like sleepwalking. You don't really want to interrupt it or anything, so instead what you can do is just kind of like leave a message on his chest or just kind of like put an
Okay, I've never been
something,
that
figure it
zoned
out.
out. I feel like you need to be on drugs
Next
for
level of
that.
Relationship unlocked. You're welcome. Womansplaining Men, part 17. Raise your hand if you are a woman and you believe that men expect praise for doing work. Yeah, it's a pretty common misconception, but let's be clear. Men do not expect praise for anything. In fact,
Pretty
they're
much.
always super thrown off when they receive it. That's why when you compliment a man, instead of looking happy like you might expect, he might look confused or even mad, like he thinks you're messing.
I don't know about mad, but
So I think
confused,
this
definitely.
misconception that men are expecting the praise actually comes from the fact that women are always the ones telling other women to praise their men when they do chores to motivate them to do more chores. And that's really annoying to hear, right? Because it's not like we're getting parades thrown in the street every time we do stuff. But what I've realized is that women who are telling you these things, who are experienced with living with and working with men, are not doing it as some like 1950s Pavlovian dog training.
No, they just cracked the code.
They've known men long enough to see how strongly they react to appreciation.
Basically, all you need to do to get most guys to like you is be nice. Just be nice. You're already gorgeous. Just be nice.
Acknowledgement just hits men different. Like, look at this, for example. If someone were to thank you as a woman for vacuuming the living room, you'd either take it as being passive aggressive, like it's expected of you, or it would just feel like nothing because we receive way better compliments all the time. Like, girl, the other day I went to buy wine and the lady who ID'd me called me movie star famous. What did I do to deserve that? Men are not having these experiences. Men are not getting stopped in the street, told how cute their hair is or how cute their top looks on them.
Never.
It's not that men expect praise for doing work. It's that they're sick of
Wait,
being
no.
told.
No, hold on. Not addendum. Retraction? Amendment. Not necessarily never. I had one time in memory, other than like mom or grandma complimenting me, that somebody actually like complimented how I looked just as a random thing. I think I was 15. I had really long hair, not like below my shoulders long, but actually my model is kind of my hair was a little bit longer than what it shows in my model. Currently my hair is actually short because I'm looking professional for work, but so my hair was kind of long, and then I was at the river, and there was a couple of people there taking photos and whatnot, and for whatever reason, they felt the need to take a photo of me. And so they called over to me, and I turned my head over, and they take a photo at just the right time with my hair flaring from the turn. And they're like, "Oh my gosh, you are so photogenic. Look at that." I'm like, okay. And so that is the one time in 32 years that I can recall having just an unsolicited compliment.
What they did wrong.
Unsolicited compliment. That implies that I get solicited compliments. A compliment from just somebody just complimenting me, other than obviously my mom or my grandma.
When they do work. Look, I'll tell on myself real quick. I used to never cook. My husband did all the cooking. And if I so much as heated up SpaghettiOs on the stovetop, my husband would thank me for cooking. That is so silly, and yet it made me feel good, and it made me want to learn how to cook better. And I did, and I'm a great cook now. So I want you to...
Okay, side tangent. I'm a decent cook. I don't think I'm great. But some girls that I've dated have never even attempted to really cook. And so they've actually been insecure about me being a better cook than them. And I'm like, you never cared enough to bother learning in the first place. Why are you going to be insecure about it now? Why aren't you just happy that you have somebody who does have the ability to cook when you choose not to? But yeah, no, those relationships didn't work out because they apparently were very insecure about not being able to cook, and among other things.
stop looking at giving your man accolades as babying him or putting yourself down. And I want you to start thinking about it as, how can we both validate and reassure each other in healthy ways? Can't build an empire without lifting each other up.
And we're going to end it there for today. Like I said in the beginning of the video, the link to her full playlist is down in the description below. And so go and give that a watch if you want. And we'll see you next time. Farewell, friends.